The President of the United States has one, and I have one too. What could possibly be in this briefcase? Okay, I don't have the nuclear football, which the United States does, but I have been thinking about disaster case scenarios. Those of you who've been watching my YouTube videos, I've showed you some communication methods that enable you to keep connected to the world, even in communication blackouts. Not long ago, when there was civil unrest in Kenya, somebody somewhere decided to shut down the cell phone networks and make the internet very difficult to get hold of. And now, just looking at the United States, with this horrendous hurricane that has come through and put people in very difficult situations, including no power, water, and communications, I started to think to myself, is there a way where I could create an emergency kit whereby 7 people, perhaps in your local neighborhood or in your family, can keep in contact even when power, water, and communications have failed? So what have I put together in this briefcase? I seriously doubt when the United States president opens his nuclear football case it looks like this, but this is designed so that you can create a VHF UHF station very easily. All of these things bought from AliExpress and Amazon. The stars of the show are these Retevis RT27s. These are European frequency PMR radios, but you can get US ones as well. You can program them as well to even have a bit of a scrambler function. They've been velcroed to the lid, and everything is powered from this LifePro battery, which goes into this buck converter, which then powers this 6-gang charger. This actually was a kit, 6 radios and a charger for around $100. This RT95, I've done a review on this previously, has been programmed so that they can speak to those radios as well as be used for many ham frequencies as well. It has a speaker, which you can hear in the background, and that's something that I had around and added to the case. There's a 12-volt LED strip been added to the power cell here so that you can use this in dark conditions, and you'll also notice as well that there are a few USB sockets there, and that's powered by that little buck converter there, the CPT, which enables me to charge phones or any other USB powered devices. It's powered by this XT60 device where I plug a LifePro charger into it, and it goes into this sort of wiring loom so I can add other bits and pieces as well to charge. Now, there's a tiny antenna port been stuck into the side of the case here, and you can plug a multitude of different antennas here. You can see just off to the side here a very simple mag mount antenna. I've also got a larger antenna. This is a diamond antenna designed for VHF and UHF use and can be put on a pole and put up higher. The accessories include this, a cable here where you can add to that external cable, various connectors, so if you've got a different type of antenna you can connect to it. I've got a UHF VHF antenna on my roof which I connect this into. There's that mag mount. I've included a couple of programming cables, but be careful when programming these radios. I used the wrong software on the RT27s and bricked one. I've got some tape and some cable ties and a knife as well, which is useful for putting antennas up, and you can add some other radios as well if you're a ham radio user like me. Now, these 2 Baofangs have been set up using this device I've also bought, and they can be put up into a tree and made into a very simple rudimentary repeater. That's a video for another time, but that's useful to have a look. Let's have a look at these RT27s in a little bit more detail. They're quite well built, and that they have the opportunity of 16 different channels, and that's quite easy by turning the power on, and the other knob there is used for selecting one of those 16 frequencies. They're not particularly high powered, but that's why you have the base station antenna as well set up, and of course you've got a few other buttons which does things like squelch and push to talk. There's also that programming cable, or you can add headphones and an external microphone. Most of these items can be bought from Amazon, eBay or AliExpress quite cheaply. I reckon the core items cost me $200 to $300, but you can configure your own case in any way that you would like. My hope is this, that no one ever has to use such a setup in a serious time of emergency. But hopefully you can see the value of having something that is stored in a briefcase that can be brought out pretty quickly and set up within minutes. Those PMR radios are fantastic to use for non-ham radio licensed operators. My family can pick up one of those and can start chatting away very, very easily. The base station is a little bit more complicated. You will need to program that radio so that you are able to pick up the PMR frequencies, and there's a little bit of a grey area as to whether or not you're allowed to transmit using that radio, as it's not specifically designed for using PMR frequencies. I'll let you be the judge of that. You can also use this for a multitude of different activities. I go overlanding and at times into areas where there is no cell phone reception, and being able to talk to other people that have come with you is really useful. You might take it on a camping trip, or perhaps you set it up for a large event where several of you need to keep connected together. The use case scenario is fantastic, and well, all the basic components you can get yourself set up for probably around $200 to $300, and those PMR handsets alone are around the $120 mark. So think about it. It might be something that you want to build yourself, or if you're like me, a licensed ham radio operator, where the use cases infinitely increase, particularly with that base station of using other frequencies that I'm licensed to use. Look, I hope that you never have to use any such thing in a natural disaster or a communications emergency, but it doesn't help to be prepared. Thanks so much for watching. Please do all of the things that YouTubers do, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.